Mm.
Oh,
Welcome
anyway,
back.
Sabado, we're back. The boys are back. Guys, you can notice we're already laughing. So this is gonna be one of them episodes where if you're not ready to laugh or you're pissed off, don't listen to us. Right?
Pissed off. You're gonna get pissed off even more with everything we're about.
Even more, even
I
more.
was positive
So,
until today, but it's gone.
It's been so
so
It lasted 4 months.
it's been so toxic that Indy's camera actually just broke because it was just too much.
the
You can't
toxicity, the
My camera's a bit
toxicity.
like Mo, missing in action. Hmm.
It's just getting too much. And yes, boys. Okay, welcome back. Of course, it's been last time we didn't have you around because you went traveling with the family as always. Of course, no powerlifting in
Yeah.
Britain travel more than it's been. So, how was your travel and how was your holiday?
Holiday is amazing. Guys, you guys need to go to Bali. Bali is sick. Honestly, it's 10 out of 10. I came back. Imagine, right? I came back 78 kilos. I'm going to 83s.
I'm just gonna go out there
No.
and say this: brown people don't go to Bali.
Indeed,
Bro,
they warned us yesterday, man. Come on, calm down.
no, but I can say that. Yeah, I'm a brown person myself. We don't go to Bali. I'll be honest with you, bro.
But no, honestly,
I'm glad you had fun.
no, Bali was sick. Yeah, it was great. Um, no, yeah, it was good. Just sucks to be back, you know.
Uh, I mean, 78 kilos, like, I'm glad you're 78. At least that frame of yours does not look anorexic
It
anymore.
is. I'm
So,
filling up a lot, you know. I'm not gonna lie. I would take my shirt off here, but Tasha might tell me.
hope,
No
hopefully,
one needs to
hopefully
see that.
You'd be
Man,
surprised.
his chest goes in.
uh, boys, there's,
No. Going off that though, going off that. Before we move on to the meat of stuff, someone asked me a question, right, and I think we should answer it. What makes you a powerlifter? At what point are you considered not a powerlifter? Like,
not,
yeah, not a powerlifter. Like, let's say you're training for powerlifting, but you don't compete. Are you a powerlifter?
No.
no.
If you haven't done the competition,
No, not ever. If you haven't competed for ages.
But if you're looking to compete, you can consider yourself as still being in a remit in terms of like because you've done it before and then you've just taken time off and you come back to it.
Yeah, but you get a lot of people who constantly looking to compete but never do. It's been.
but I
Are
reckon
they
if
considered?
you, okay, so if you've competed previously, then you can say you're a powerlifter, right?
So if you've ever played football like outside in the grounds, like just with your mates and that, are you a footballer?
No,
No,
I would
you
say
know,
I play football,
you play football.
So
but
you do powerlifting, but you're not a powerlifter if you haven't competed.
I have competed.
No, not about you. What about general, bro? What are you getting so defensive for, man? Come on, Bali was meant
He
to
said
like
it was cute.
zen you. You meant to be like zen mode, and you're like biting. Come on.
I think I agree with you in terms of like that example. If you're a power lifter, you did powerlifting for once, for a one time that you did powerlifting, and you've taken some time off for a very long time, you never compete. You can't really consider yourself a powerlifter. You
So you
know,
have to compete to consider
you
yourself
have
a
to be
powerlifter.
active.
Yeah, or you're training for a comp.
Yeah, what if you're training for a comp 5 years away?
No,
Like,
bro.
what
No,
do you mean?
You know what
Nah,
you're doing?
listen.
no, bro. That's no, that can't be. No. But yeah, I hope I ended that answer. To me, yeah, you're not a powerlifter. You have to be active.
All
If
right,
you're
so
not,
so
yeah.
say no more, Espin. Carry on.
So yeah, boys. As I said, like, a lot has been happening, especially for the past few weeks, in terms of like, in Britain. I'm not even talking about the rest of the planet. I'm just talking about in Britain alone. So today, of course, we had our yearly AGM today. So, and it was a very, very important one, probably one of the most important one that we um, will have for the next 5 years. It, sorry, is because we were able, as members of British Powerlifting, everybody was able to cast their vote in a few weeks ago for our new chairman, CEO, and the athlete commission. So the names have been released, and I literally attended the session today. You bastard didn't, because I checked. You didn't. So you call yourself British powerlifting members in the
I did my vote, and then I was in bed because I told you this morning I was ill.
I know, but you
I don't know
should.
about Espin. He's still coming down off the high from Bali, but
I
I
had
was
to
ill.
take Bailey out, so
See, that's the excuse everyone is giving me now today. You know, some people are telling me, "Oh, I had to go for a walk because my grandma needed some steps."
Hello,
That's why I didn't
I
join the
messaged you
call.
first thing in the morning saying I was ill.
come on.
Someone at squad had the lurgy. That's all I know.
I think
So
it was
yeah,
both.
I think it was
this.
Sanchez.
Fucking hell. Why are you saying? Oh, come on. Sanchez
Because
was the
Sanchez
first one
said
to
he's been
arrive.
feeling
Leave the
ill.
man alone. Oh, anyway, we get our topic here. So yeah, the session was good. It was held on Zoom. I think it had 70 attendees, which I was expecting a bit more, especially our federation having over 4,000 members. Just to get 70 on that call today was a little bit disappointing. So yeah, I'm saying to every single member in Britain that that does powerlifting, part of British powerlifting as a federation, you didn't. These are the things that you should take part, because the decisions for your federation for the next 5 years were made today in terms of like who will be leading this. So we go. Congratulations first of all to James Brinker Smith in terms of like him getting the CEO role, and Ben Davis is the chairman. And are you waiting for this? Annie Nelson
Yeah, buddy.
for
Could you do
athlete
like?
commissioner.
Could you just do a little breakdown on what their roles, like what they're going to be doing in their roles, just for people that are listening?
So it's
So
all I
David is
was.
the chairman.
Yeah, all I was. I mean, the chairman, again, as in the word say itself, he oversees every single department or every single function that go through the federation. So his role will be there to support, of course, the CEO with all the decisions that are going forward. So the most important role, I think, to me is that CEO role. You know, the role that Parker did occupied a couple of years ago for a very, very long time. So James has got, of course, he has got big shoes to fill in, because Parker led us to that dark side that this federation was a couple of years ago to where we are now. So it's something that he's gonna take forward with all of us. So it's a massive role. It's a very, very, very big role. Of course, Tony as a financial director is no small role. Is a big role itself as well. A lot of responsibility right there. He's the one that will be looking after our finance, making sure that we don't go bust. Like a few things could have happened like a decade ago or so. So yeah, again, anyone that has got that support or whatever, Tony is there and reach out. Of course, the whole board team will probably expecting people to reach out if you have any idea or whatever. And Annie will be doing the athlete commission role. It means if I think Indy, you probably explained it earlier a little bit better than me in terms of like Annie's role to the athlete.
Yeah, so she's obviously she'll be sitting on the disciplinary committee and things like that, and she'll be the go between the athletes and the board, because like naturally any organization they're not gonna, you don't go straight to the CEO or the director and start sending you messages. There's got to be someone you speak to, and she covers those bases. So if you have issues and problems and things you need to get them resolved, she's the person to go through. I think Tony used to be the athletes commission, but obviously he can't hold two roles, so he's moved on to financial director, which makes sense considering his background. And then Annie's becoming turning into the athletes commission. I think it's really important to have someone in the AC who's an active powerlifter, and does things and is in the public eye. Do you know what I mean? Because they're gonna have the same concerns as a lot of people. So just want to congratulate Annie on driving 14 hours this weekend and making the athletes commission.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
huge. That's huge. So these are very, very important role for us as a federation going forward. And again, I think a few things been spoken in the past. You know, the structure that everybody wanted for our federation is there. And these names, guys, they are on social medias. If you guys have, as I said, if the ideas are there, or if you have got thoughts, you want to talk to them, they are reachable on social media. Just reach out to them. So, guys, in terms of like, I'm just gonna touch down a little bit on that federation in terms of where we're going, because we know,
You're
as much
forgetting
as we don't
something.
know.
You're forgetting something there, Durance. You're forgetting another thing that's there. Hall of Fame. You're not bringing up the Hall of Fame, man. So,
Oh,
Mr. King Gamu.
Yeah, true. Congratulations to Louise for making Hall of Fame. Moving on.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Indy, well done right there. You know, Indy did it better than me. So yeah, I mean, again, like me, I was, of course, she could have told me anything because it's a surprise as always. I'm sure a lot of people didn't even know what was happening. So I jumped in the call. My little one was making so much noise and the background screaming. All I heard is my name, and I didn't know what was my name for. I just realized, oh fuck, they probably
What?
said my name.
What's Joey doing at your house? Oh, you mean like? Never mind.
Like, oh, jeez.
okay.
You're a bastard.
Joey.
So all I heard, like, I heard my name. I was like, oh, because of this big mouth of mine, I probably upset someone complaining. They're talking about it right now. What hell have I done? And then the next thing I see on the message chat saying congratulations, I'm thinking, like, what the fuck? Congratulations for what?
So let me get this straight. You're giving it 10 about people not being there, but you were present. You still didn't have a fucking clue what was going on in the meeting. No. That's what you just said. You said they were saying congratulations. Your name was mentioned. You didn't have a clue what was going on. What was the point in you being there?
Yeah, I said the excuse. I literally said my little one was screaming in the background. I could not hear anything.
Good
All
excuse.
I heard is my name. That's what I said. Bro,
I'm glad you were there though to pay attention to everything.
Exactly. At least I turned up. Did you? You didn't. You didn't even apply for it, did you? But
I sent my vote in. I voted for Espin to be CEO.
So yeah, it was surprising to me. But again, like when things like that comes, of course I'm honored. You know, it's great, it's fantastic, and I feel really weird about it because you look around British powerlifting, you look at the names on the men's side. There's some big names, all right. People have done wonderful things and they're still doing. And just for me to be mentioned and be in that Hall of Fame, you know, including that rank of the Joey Namani, Tony Cliff, and the rest, it's just like, oh, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? What did I do to deserve this? But so yeah, but regardless, I'm honored. And congratulations, of course, to Adam Riley as well, Louise Edward, and Kate Sweatman, our only female equipped world champion. When I heard it, I was like, yeah, no one deserves it better than her. So congratulations to her. So yeah, it was great. It's a great thing to be part of that group. But yeah, do I deserve it? Hell no. With my big mouth. Of course not.
It's only just starting as well, man. There's still a lot more to come.
Yeah, so it was a great thing. But guys, I'll throw a question out there in terms of like the federation because I'm really passionate about our federation in terms of like where we look going because where powerlifting and British powerlifting was, if you go back like 5 years or a few years ago, it's different from where we are now. You know, I know people just see us as we have got so much talent, you know, in the federation. People are strong. You got the younger people like Nonso, and you know what I mean, coming up. You know, the rest and Jack Hopkins and all of that. People just think, oh, this federation has got so much talent. But I look at not just the talent, I look at just the governance around it. You know what I mean? The infrastructure around the federation. We can honestly say we've come from really far and we're going in the right direction. So do you guys, I want to throw this out there in terms of like, of course, probably you really don't know James Brinkham Smith, or you don't know Ben Davis and all of that. If you put in front of them, right, in front of these two men, because these are the guys that will be leading our federation for the next 5 years, what would be that thing that you will ask of them? I'll start first, Ben.
They now gone. Personally, I think they just need to be on top of what's going on. Like not just necessarily like with the open team, but I think what's key here is to make sure they're like aware of what's happening with the junior lot as well. Because back in the days, right, what was happening was no one was really paying too much attention with the juniors. Even now, if you think about it, right, it's only just now that they're starting to get more attention, aren't they? Realistically, and that's because mainstream-wise, they're posting a lot more on social media. So social media has a huge, like, social media is key for them. Not necessarily for the opens, but more for the juniors. Powerlifting is getting more popular because of the juniors, believe it or not, right? Like we all have to agree. Even though we make so many jokes about, yeah, no one really cares about the juniors, this and that. The juniors are the ones that are like taking powerlifting by storm right now. Not just in this country, but all over the world, right? So I think for these guys, they need to be very aware of what's happening with the juniors as well, making them involved as much as possible. And I think that's going to help grow the sport because we depend on them as well. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? I feel like in my head I'm
So
making
basically, what you're saying, like they should put a little bit more attention in the grassroots, basically where
100%.
the future is. The future is
because
the
back
junior,
in the
basically.
day, because years ago that wasn't the case, right? It wasn't the case. But now we have so much help from social media as well now, which that can pretty much do the work for them. But they still need to.
So what you're saying is like our junior should get a little bit more support as much as what a senior get.
I think that's started to happen though, hasn't it? Like over the last like 2 years or so, look where the juniors have come from to where they've gone. Like, I think the support started to move across to the juniors quite significantly compared to what it used to be.
Oh no, 100%. But I feel like the juniors are doing it themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones. I think so. Like,
well, you're getting juniors with contracts and like the funding's being moved across to juniors for things as well. Like, I don't know. I think it's moving in the right direction.
Indeed, what about yourself in terms of like James and then of course Ben? If they put in front of you, what would you ask them?
I think we need to continue to move forward as a Fed, like just generally as well. I think like the competition standards need to they're increasing, but they need to continue to increase. Because like we always talk about comps being run abroad and stuff, and like you got like the money pots for certain competitions and all that sort of stuff. This sort of stuff, in my opinion, just incentivizes people to lift. Like, for example, British, when we did it in Nottingham, it was the lifters that made the show. Do you know what I mean? There was, even though we were missing quite a lot of people because they were like, I'd rather do the English, it still ended up being a really good competition because of the lifters. Now, if you add like a massive venue into that and get some sponsors and move it forward, it just brings more people in. Like, it just becomes a, like we were talking about the rally thing that's happening in America. Can you imagine if we did similar stuff here in the UK? I think it would pop. So for me, it's just a case of just keep elevating the competition side of things, and support the teams like junior, seniors, equipped, maybe benched, but just generally support the the teams in general and the lifters that are going out, because at the end of the day, I know you people have sponsors, they cover some of your costs, but you're still paying for things, you're still going out, it's still time off, it's still time taken off work. So I think like if you start supporting the teams going out to competitions as well, you're naturally going to have more people wanting to be there. And that includes like coaches as well, for me anyway.
I agree.
Is there anything from like comps in the States that you guys would love to bring here? Like anything that they do specifically? That you would be like, you know what, that would be so sick here in the UK.
I mean, it's all about that one. Like we'll
Production
touch
value,
on that.
isn't it?
We'll touch on that because I got that as a topic as well. We'll touch on that because there's a few conversations I've started already with some people, and they gave me their opinion on it. Let's talk about it in a minute.
For those listening, Money Mo has just entered the chat.
Yeah, he finally woke
Money
up.
Mo.
He's been he set the time to do the conversation, then fell asleep.
No. Let's not do that. I was asking specifically on Friday, what time do we want to do this thing?
3 p.m.
Yeah, you said 3.
No one answered.
You said 3.
Durance, you said 3 p.m.
Espin, who said 3 p.m.?
It was Mo, bro.
It was Mo.
It was Mo.
Anyway, even Espin said Mo, we can do earlier.
I'm pretty sure.
So Mo,
bro, you're just out of juniors. Why are you having midday naps?
Bro, my life is stressful, bro. Too much work going on now.
Man, it's fun.
I've done too much overtime.
You didn't come from Bali, that's why. So Mo,
I don't know whose hairline's worse now. Jurin's or yours? You're both stressed.
Mine definitely. Life of an engineer is a tough one, bro. I'm gonna lie.
Life of a banker just kills your knees.
Life is a wanker.
Yeah, bank. What the?
Banker. Oh, no. I thought you said wanker.
I actually thought you said wanker as well.
I thought you said wanker as well.
Guys,
like, can't
you
be
know
that
we got
difficult.
younger people listening to us, right?
Man's
Fucking
making
hell,
money
guys.
hand over fist.
Sort yourself out. Anyway, Mo, before you jump in, we were talking about the just new team that has been voted for British powerlifting leading for the next 5 years. The new CEO, chairman, which is the CEO is James Brinker Smith, chairman is Ben Davis. So we were talking about if you're given the opportunity to be in front of them right now, what would be the things that you probably ask them?
Good question. Or if there was one thing I just wanted to know, it would just be what they're going to do differently in comparison to the previous group. You know, what goals do they have for the federation as a whole? What goals do they have for the British team on the international platform? You know, what goals do they have for bringing up the young athletes who are coming up to the ranks? It's just little things like that. And also brand deals, aka how are we looking to structure and potentially onboard more companies, more brands to support the federation, to give people access to, you know, sponsorship and things like that. It's just what are your plans for the future in comparison to the previous sport?
Yeah, I think we need like structured plans. Like we can't get away with just saying, oh, this is gonna happen at some point in the future. It needs to be like from someone dated by this point. We want this in place, because like you can't hold people accountable if they don't give you time frames and specific goals they want to hit. Because like Espen, just as an example, Espen said he's gonna compete when nobody fucking knows. There's no time frame on that. Man spends half his time in fucking Bali, bro.
To be honest with you, I thought he was doing the Fort London competition.
True. He did say he wanted to do it.
Yeah, he did say he wanted to do that.
That'd be good, man. I think it's
Anyway.
Let me know when you're doing Espen. I'll handle you if you want.
Anyway, moving on from that, guys. So again, I think today, as I said, it was a big day for our federation, and to me, again, if you ask me, in front of them, pretty much the boys have covered this in terms of like, what's your plan? The grassroots is really important, and again, I think I said this, like, I'm really passionate about this federation in terms of about the future, where we're going. We have a great senior team right now in terms of like what the lifters we have. I think one person I was talking to today even mentioned that to me, said, look, you guys actually have one of the best senior powerlifting team in the world. You know, I'm not saying we're the best, but we are one of the best in terms of like the people that the names that we have. So it's just about thinking about when those names goes, who's going to replace those names. And at the moment, if those juniors and sub-juniors are getting that support, because the support does not necessarily have to be, oh, SPD is sending them maybe knee sleeves, maybe off a wrist wrap. We have those juniors that are strong. Sometimes they can't get to these junior international competition because they can't afford it. Because these juniors don't have a sponsorship, and SPD does not back the juniors like it's backing the seniors. When you turned up and you get a yearly contract, right? How the federation are willing to support this talent even on those international stage? If even they're willing to pay for some of them, why not? Do you know what I mean? It's not going to cost much. If you're going to compete in Lithuania where the flight is a £30, £60 return, why can't you pay flights for people like that? Do you know what I mean? It's just like an idea of to say one more say that, like, what are the plans? Because at the moment, yeah, we got a new board going in, yes, which is fantastic. We're not going to pressure them to tell us tomorrow what the plan is, but if they start thinking about it, what we want is transparency. We want to see what are they, basically what we said, like the goals, the milestone. Where is it? Where is that journey? You know what I mean? Where is every single step we're going to be hitting, and how are we going to hit it? If we got that full transparency, and then you see, to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie, a lot of lifters, especially higher top tier lifters in our country, they have lost confidence on our federation because of the past, or what happened in the past. And I'm not saying it's something like it will always gonna carry on, but it's something that can be fixed about people being full transparency. And the transparency can be seen now, bit by bit is being shown, which is a fantastic news.
On this as well, Jones, like obviously we don't want to put too much pressure on the board already, right? By telling them we're doing this. Like, I think the younger generation, so the junior lifters also need to like be accountable. So they also need to like have a big presence themselves on social media. So they also need to like, you know, make sure they're posting, not hide anything, because at the end of the day, how are they going to be sponsored? How are they going to be recognized? How are people going to know who they are if they're not posting at all? I get it, right? I get it. They want to be, you know, they want to hide their training from people so no one knows what they're going to be doing in comp. But in order to get these opportunities, they have to start posting. They need to let the world know who they are.
And giving back as well. I had Nonso, Joshua, and Minson here the other day. I was literally asking them a typical question. I said, "When was the last time you guys volunteered in the divisional?" They were like, "How do you do that?" Do you know what I mean? So they have to give back to their federations. Giving back to the federation means like in your division, your local meet or whatever, just go and volunteer, give back that time back. Do you know what I mean? I know people think, oh, I'm giving back by coaching. Yeah, but you're getting paid for that. Do you know what I mean? So that's not you giving back, isn't it? That's you gaining. Do you know what I mean? So give back. Yeah. You know, volunteer, help.
You know, someone's going to absolutely hate you for saying that. You don't need to volunteer to be a lifter. That's what's going to fucking come in now straight away. Yeah, before that even comes in, fuck off.
I was also going to say that, like, I actually just remembered before we even get to one thing I was thinking, actually, I've been thinking quite a lot, is the NGB status, which was, when was it now? Is it 2020, end of 2022, 2023?
Yeah.
We've kind of still been on that line. I think, actually, to be honest with you, I love what we're talking about. First of all, I think we don't want to over rely on SPD. As much as I'm an SPD athlete, this might sound weird, but we want the federation as much as they're organizing this partnership with SPD. But SPD is almost like carrying the federation. We want the federation to start carrying the athletes also where it can, right? Yeah. And it's not SPD coming in to pay for athletes, but rather, even if it's a federation going, hey, SPD, this is a contract we have with you. We want you to give us so amount, and we use this amount for flying our athletes or giving them support or going to grassroots sports. But also, we can just focus on the NGB status, try and get that to alleviate the amount of pressure we have for the drug testing, which we say is a massive section of our budget. Right. And I feel like if we can get the drug testing out, like a cost off our hands, the federation can really start to focus on all these extra things like the grassroots, the sporting events, what the federation look like, what, you know, all those kind of things. But I think that NGB status actually probably should be number one in my opinion.
Yeah.
After they feel comfortable.
And we should, as a board, they should sit down and see what the criteria that we need to hit to get that status. Do you know what I mean? And then use that criteria almost like a base for you to move forward, because getting that status will be a massive milestone for everybody, and then that financial stress will be a little bit relief as well. So that's a factor right there. And yeah, boys. So again, my next one is, of course, me and Indy were the squad yesterday. There's a few things I've seen. Again, I'm not just talking because people just thinking I talk so much shit, but the reality is, the changes can be seen, and we're seeing it. And I'm not talking about this because I just want to give someone flowers or no. The changes can be seen. And I was at the squad yesterday. It's not the same squad I was in 2018. It's not the same squad I was in 2019. Right? Totally different. Is it almost like I felt? I don't know about Indy. To me, yesterday at that squad, I felt like a lifter, like an athlete. That's what I felt yesterday. You know, because
like, what do you mean by that? Like, just if you want to dive deeper into it.
I mean, Indy, you can take on in terms of that, because the same differences I saw, probably Indy yourself, you saw it. You've been to a few squads. You've seen that they're introducing things like that psychology sessions we had yesterday. We never had that before.
What Jerry's where you just like, I don't know what this is.
All he kept talking about, he used it as a fucking little rant session. He's like, the guy's like, what, you know, psychology and what do you do? And he was like, I'm just always scared and he's gonna meme me. He's making memes. That's all he kept talking about. The guy was like, what things can't you control? He goes, Indy making memes. He's like, how can you control him? He goes, ask him to stop making memes. That's all he fucking spoke about.
Yeah, I did that. It's a fact. So basically, what it is like is almost like he tried to get, especially people that been the season international, get almost like your experience, like pre-lift, post-lift, your mental state. What do you think? You know, even the day before the meet, what can you control? What can you control? So all these experiences are coming through, coming out of the room, and some of us were sitting and thinking, oh my god, I thought I was the only one going through this. The other person's going through this as well, and then plus people throwing how they can literally, how they control these feelings, how they control these things. It's just like, it was one thing that I think that was really really important that we never had before. Something like that is really 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 really
So you guys
really.
closer together at the end of the day, innit?
Say that again.
It's almost like it brought you guys closer together.
Oh yeah, it
Oh
was
yeah,
good, man.
100%. 100%. You know, you hear someone, Tony Cliff, telling you he's giving you his experience about international, the things that he could control and the things that he couldn't control. You know, even someone at that level of a lifter telling you like, I couldn't control this, but you sitting and thinking like, oh shit, I think that was easy for someone like that to control. But at the end of the day, you just realize, yeah, if you can't control that, so if I can't control it, so that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Because that's normality right there. So it was one of them sessions. It was good. And plus, we had a performance director there, which is Rob Palmer was there, and then he spoke to us about, of course, a few issues that we had with the code of conduct and the contracts we had the federations having. He gave us a little bit more clarity in there, and some people had sports massage and all of that from him. So again, what I'm saying, these are the things we never had, and they're coming back into the federation, in the squad. And when we finished, we all went for a meal.
Yeah, highlight for me was the drug testing that was done on the day.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say that.
so-
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
For everyone.
We were told that squads are mandatory, and I'll be honest, I was the first person to complain about this. I was like, fucking mandatory things are fucking shit. It takes the fun out of things. Why is it mandatory? I said it. I said it with my chest. I said it. I complained to anyone who would hear the complaint. But we turned up, and UCAD were there, and they were drug testing. I think we had 8 drug tests, I think. So it's down to them. So quite a lot of people were drug tested. And going forward, I think they want it that every single person is drug tested. The reason why they couldn't tell us it was mandatory is you can't tell your athletes beforehand that there's drug testing going on, because it's meant to be a surprise. You can't tell people that they need to be here because they're going to get drug tested again, because it needs to be a surprise. So turned up, and the guy was waiting right there. As soon as I walked through the SBD doors, he's like, what's your name? I was like, this. He's like, right, you're on the list. We need to drug test you. And people were getting urine and blood tested. Some people had just blood. Some people had just urine. Some people had urine and blood. So going forward, if you're a lifter, and I think they're going to try and do that for everyone, not just seniors, you're going to be drug tested at squads, and squads are going to be mandatory. And being mandatory for this reason, I'm down for. I'm happy that it's mandatory because they're going to be doing this. So if you're a piece of shit who wants to take, then, you're going to get fucking caught out. And obviously squads being earlier rather than closer to the comp means it's gonna be when you want to be on your shit. So fuck you, basically. But I got urine and blood tested. Sanchez got tested. Z got tested. Loads of people got tested, basically. I think it's a massive step in the right direction.
90 or 95% the whole team got tested yesterday.
Did anyone reverse out as soon as they saw that?
It's too late. You can't, can you? But I think the only person who wasn't tested was fucking Tony, because I think they've got a reservoir of his piss somewhere.
It's only Tony and myself that were not tested. We weren't on the list.
You're not.
Yeah, because to be the amount of time I've been tested, they can't waste their test on me anymore. So do you know what I mean? So
and then you weren't. It wasn't like you go in, you have to test straight away. They were like, they were there throughout the whole session.
And
so
they were there
from start to end. They didn't leave. So if you could get your session done and then do your testing, you could do it whenever you wanted. I just got it done to begin with. I was like, just do it.
Yeah, I remember at the jockey, Ziana, Erlof, Ishak, and Christian, they had like a bodyguard.
Yeah, they were following them around, like wherever you couldn't leave, couldn't go to your car without.
Even in the session when they're squatting, they're just standing there waiting.
But it's
Fair
fine.
enough,
I'm
man.
happy with that, man. Like at the end of the day, one thing we've constantly screamed about and asked for is more drug testing, and people, all these fucking weirdos making fucking videos online, fucking with their stupid hats on, going, "Oh, there's not enough testing." Well, now there's testing at the highest level, constantly, consistently. Go fuck yourselves.
Now that you guys are talking about squads, though, right? So the list is out then, right? For Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the preliminary. Yeah.
What are we thinking? How do you think the team's looking?
You mean the British team or the entire rosters across the world?
No one cares
The
about
weight
the rest of the
classes.
world. Fuck them. We're talking about British.
Well, we do actually correct about the West because we need to stop the sweep. So
True, yeah.
Exactly. So, I think I'll give my two takes on this. I think again, we have a very very solid team, especially yesterday. Watching everybody training yesterday, it made me happy. I had my doubts with certain people, but watching them yesterday, I was like,
which certain people
Who?
did you
Say
have your
your name,
doubts
bro.
about?
huh?
Who
That
you
kid,
doubting?
who did you
Oh,
doubt?
I had my dad on Indy, especially Indy. Especially changing shoes to like Savalayos. I'm thinking, oh,
Mate, it's looking
Jesus,
good though.
you know. But
I'm enjoying the Savalayos.
Watching Indy hitting that 305 yesterday, I was just like, damn, he had his squat finally.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
Come on, Mr. Pause over here giving me shit about squat. Come on, bro.
So yeah, it was again personally I would say I think I know there's a lot of comment across in social media when the team was announced to the face because they say, oh, why didn't we have it? I'm just gonna go out there and say it. If you wanna shoot me, I don't give a fuck. I'm a Hall of Famer. That's I can retire today. My name will live
But
on
he's
forever.
using that one already.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. My
Is
name
that
will
the
live on
new
forever.
I'm a Commonwealth champ?
Exactly. Oh, mate, by the way, because of
How
Commonwealth
much
as
did
well,
you
that's
pay,
what gave me the
Durance?
Hall
Let's
of
be
Fame.
honest. How much did you pay? How much did you pay?
I asked myself that question. So
Endurance, he gave him a check and he's like, don't check it in until 2025.
so yeah, you shoot me, my name will live on even after I die. So I would say
Congratulations, man.
thank you, bro. When the list were released, people were saying, okay, we can't. Why is the Ade not there? Why is it more not there? Because of course the performance they had at the Arnold, which is like made the right. I mean, there was a reason why people had to throw their name on that because these guys had a wonderful performance at the Arnold.
Just for context, Jordan. So obviously, Owen Hubbard pulled out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he pulled out, which meant that there was a spot available.
Ben Pape also pulled out.
Sorry, who?
Ben Pape.
Okay, cool. So those dropped out.
But Pape didn't pull out. Pape didn't accept his invite. There's subtle difference, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then who came in?
I think we got Joey coming in.
Joe. Yeah.
That's it.
For 66, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Congratulations to Joe, by the way. Out of all the 66, congratulations for being the only one to actually turn up in this country and represent the country.
I mean, let me just put it out there. He's the only 66 since Andrew Dons in 2017 or 2016 that made the Open Team Award. He's the only one. Right? And he made 2 international back-to-back. Why? Because he turned up. The rest of you were home eating curries.
No, they weren't. They were in Bali. They were in Bali, bro.
Specifically curry.
Don't know what.
I mean, it's a bit racist, that, Jordan, but...
you know, so the reality is like, yeah, again, as I said, when the team was released, of course, people had a comment to say about it, which is rightfully they had the right to say what they said, because again, some people are more, as I said, and they had some tremendous performance. Why not? Why can't you put them in the team? Everyone will have questions. That's a normal thing. But the reality is we all had the criteria, the selections, and I can't go back into this because we've been talking about it for months. But
now go back into
question.
It. Just clarify it, because there's going to be people listening who still have questions, because there's still questions. So, like it's been months and there's still questions. I know Moses
British
to say something.
British powerlifting, British powerlifting, and Paul Marsh, the head coach. Because this year the national is in November, November this year. Last year, we were given an opportunity for all of us, especially apart from the people that went to Euros in Estonia. The rest of the country were given an opportunity to turn up at the selection meet. Go there and post the biggest totals you can as possible for you to be in that selection pool for the next internationals next year. Those international were the Arnolds, the Euros, and the World Championship, right?
Yeah.
So of course, we had the names there. Odi 93, Mo himself was there, and Sanchez and Coons. Joey turned up as the only 66. The rest of the 66 did not turn up.
Before you carry on, a clarification for the people that are listening: there was no British. That was the British. It had to be smaller. That was the selections meet for next year's internationals. Anybody was allowed to enter as long as they hit the qualifying totals. People were screaming at people to enter, just like the British before. We were shouting and screaming for females and males, just put your names down, enter. This is your only way you're going to get onto the British team. The fact that that was the selections for the British team was made very, very clear. It was super fucking clear. Everybody knew you had to enter this to be selected, and it was that selections meet versus the Euros, which was in like fucking 5 days after that or whatever the hell it was going to be your way of getting into the GB team. That was fucking clear as day. Sorry.
So yeah, so through that, that's why the team looked the way the team looked today. So I know the guys that did the Arnold was not one of those criteria that was put onto last year. The Arnold was a criteria to be one of the international the year of 2024, but it was not a criteria. Oh, you do a performance at the Arnold or you do a performance at the Euros in Croatia, and then we select you to go to World. No, the world team, realistically, let me just put in a nutshell. The world team was chosen after the Euros last year.
Basically, yeah.
That's when the world team was chosen. So for people that come in and throw in comments all over this left, right, and center, the world team was chosen after the Euro, not last year. This year, Arnold, and this year, Euros were not even a part of the conversation. That's why you see some of our lifters, like for instance, Joey or Sanchez that's joined the team now. Sanchez qualification, they will use last year qualification unless they use is or Paul decided to use the Arnold. But the reality, the IPF will need.
Oh, it's all been updated now. It's all been updated because if not, he wouldn't have been in flight A. So Sanchez has barely just made flight A now for what?
Has he? He wasn't last I checked.
No, it's all been updated, and I'm in a very nice position right now. You know, that's all I wanted. I wanted my screenshot, and I've got my screenshot. I'm happy. I said honestly, I went to that meet and I was like, I don't even care, bro. I just want my screenshot. And that's all. So all the numbers have been updated. The picture looks nice. I'm gonna take my picture, frame it somewhere, because you never know when you might be projected third again at Worlds. If I ever get to go again.
So you are projected third.
Yes, sir. It's a lovely.
Ooh, that's beautiful. That's another thing more. When people will see that, they will see like, why is it India even going?
Nah, you got respect. I think it wouldn't, because a lot of countries have had this problem, right? We can see what happened with, for example, Canadian Bryce, right? If you have it such there's a continuous moving post, it's not fair. It's not fair for anyone at all. If the post is continuously moving, you'll get situations where I've done 937.5. There's no reason why Indy couldn't have done 938, and then someone else comes in randomly and does 938.5. Right, the goalpost is continuously moving. We needed to have a nice cutoff, which is what happened. Some people got fucked over, but realistically speaking, we weren't expecting me or Ade to have such an amazing meet, right? So it's the performance that changes the past, what the goalpost was. It's life. Everyone carries on. You know, hopefully we have British and a lot of people actually turn up. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, because
British end of this year, people need to turn up.
If people don't turn up to British, like, and then they over the next year they have something to say, I'm out and out going to be tagging you on Instagram stories. Annie's the new athletes commission. Go complain to her if you're gonna cry about it. But I'm gonna be tagging you online. Espin, you're here. I'm saying this to your face. Every single time I'll be tagging you on Instagram because a lot of people have a lot to say, but they don't turn up.
Yeah, let's turn up at the British. Let's make the British an amazing meet. Let's get our tickets to 2025 internationals.
Like everything that's happened here, right? Everything that's happened to get to this point is going to be a big eye opener, right? A lot of people you're going to see this British coming in November is going to be one of the biggest Britishes. I'm telling you,
That's good.
everyone's gonna
That's
fuck
good.
it because of what's
Okay.
happening. Like honestly,
Yeah, and also I want people to bend the narrative of I only come to British if I'm gonna win.
yeah.
The
Oh, I
Federation
hate
has
it.
bought a
I
very,
hate it.
very nice venue. You know, there are a lot of top level athletes coming. A lot of things can happen. You know, Jones might snap his knees, God forbid, on the platform. You know, anything could happen. Turn up to the British. Let's have some fun. Let's make powerlifting in the UK one of the biggest things, rather than everyone sitting at home
We
watching the
have to
American.
do it. We have, because
Yeah.
the thing is, one more said that when you only gonna come to the British if you want to win. Joey has made it too international. He's not the British champion. He's made it too so people when they're talking about
Sanchez has made an international. He wasn't even in conversation at all.
exactly.
You know, Maxwell's come out of nowhere, done amazingly
Do you know
well.
what I mean?
On the
So
women's side,
all
there's
of
so
this
many.
narrative about I'm not gonna win, just powerlifting is a sport that we never know. Do you know what I mean?
You know, people kept saying this last year, British. Honestly, it was doing my fucking head in. And then there was people complaining at the people complaining. Like, the people complaining about you not turning up to British were 100% in the right. Because if you're not going to turn up to British, you have no fucking reason to be complaining about selections.
Yeah. So yeah, the team. I think we have a very solid team. Espin, the team is really solid. I don't see. I look at our team. I'm thinking, I don't see a weak link in this team. Everybody's giving their all in this one. Right? Their all. When I mean their all, the men and the women we have in the team is something like it will be historical. I think this team will do some damage in Lithuania. You know, and I'm really expecting, and I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen in the next 8 weeks. You know, and the other thing as well, right? Let me put it out there. I think I had this conversation with Indy. Because of the way the selection is gone and the way the team is going more, this is probably like on your side, especially that you're the one who's staying behind, is everybody on that team going to World, people will judge them on their performance to the ones that are staying at home. You know? And then I will tell anyone who's listening to us, right? If any lifter you think is a weak link in this team, go to World and total 5 kilo less or 10 kilo less than the person at home, and you telling me, oh, they should have taken that person because you would have total more. Fuck you.
It's relative. It doesn't work like that.
It does not work like that.
Yeah,
Do you know
I've
what
hit
I mean?
900 and I went to Worlds and I did 780. It doesn't work like that.
You know what? With me and Jordan having this conversation, and I think someone else as well. I think it must have been Tony. And I was like, next year, not this year, the next year, if I'm selected, I'm actually going to turn down my Euro spot to give some of the people giving it 10 that Euros experience. Because I want them to experience that Euros experience. I want them to go to those EPF judges and hit their squats at the depth they're hitting and their benches at the pause that they're doing. And then experience how it feels to be in that environment where people who at Sheffield this year had and were winning bags were bombing out because of the fucking European judges. Just experience it, have it. Let me see, enjoy yourself, and then when they're gonna cry the next year, I'll just be there going, "Well done."
So yeah, guys, his camera is not working. I wish you guys could see what he did there, but yeah. So yeah, again, like I said, the performance and international platform is always different for the performance in domestic competition. And I'm not saying, of course, people saying, "Oh, you're talking about ADN, you're talking about more." You guys did the Arnold, which is an international platform. You know what I mean? I expect the same rules or criterias or whatever in terms of what you guys have done there and what we had at the Euros. Do you know what I mean? I expected the same because it's an international platform. But anyone that does a division or whatever, you come to me and talk to me. But please, mate, please,
And
just
this is a don't like take this as elitism. It's not elitism. It's just the fact. Like going to an international, the changes in the food, everything, the standards at the internationals, the juries at the internationals, the speed of worlds and stuff like that. It's just a different ball game. And that's
Or
not
even the
saying that.
people that
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
meeting there, like international, you're just in a different country where honestly some people might not even want you there. So
oh,
you know,
mate.
Do you
you got
remember
five.
during the Euros, you and Christian? I'm not going to go
Bro.
too into it, but it's
You know,
You
savage.
just have to survive when
bro,
you're there.
me and Christian went to the Euros. These people wanted to get us out of their country quickly. Literally, you know. And then yesterday, even at the squad yesterday, Bobby Butler were talking about. Oh, I remember I went to an international where during the comp, I went to the toilet. There was no toilet rolls, and then they don't speak my language. I can't. There's not even nobody I can ask.
You just gotta
Just
mime.
imagine.
You gotta mime yourself cleaning your own ass.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? You know, just imagine things like that. And you're competing here when you go Kim Cow there helping people 100%, giving you all the help that you need on the planet, and you're complaining and thinking, oh, I couldn't. Mate, please, don't give me there, right? Look, Hall of Famers don't talk too much. I might have a heart attack.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway.
Oh, here we go. Again.
Right, can I make the next AGM? Can I vote for that to be revoked?
You know, people actually will do that. People will
would.
actually do that.
Remember,
Especially with me.
complain to Annie Nelson of the Athlete.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna throw this out there. I know Espen, you did ask the question. I took a bit long-winded to answer it. I thought the team is great, and then I think we're gonna do well in terms of like we represent our nations, you know, with everything we have on that platform when it comes in 8 weeks' time. So more in terms of like yourself, because again, you're in the situation where you could have been in, and then you didn't make it at the selections, and other people are on the team. So how do you view the team when you look at the current team going to World? Do you have the confidence in the team?
I've got tough. I was literally just scrolling through every single lifter on the men's side, at least, even on the women's. I was going for the women's side, especially the women's side is stacked. We genuinely have such a competitive team that we can actually send 2 women in almost every weight class. Or in majority of the ones we can. But on the men's side, especially because I'm male, right? We've got Ishak, first of all, top 8. Amazing pole deadlifter. You know, he could have a huge potential cracking top 5. You know, we've got the 66. Joey has a lot of potential to grow, but he should be able to pop a very good fight on the B group and hopefully set a new standard for the 66 here in the UK. You know, 74s, we don't have any because that would normally be Dylan Nelson, but he's been injured. 83, we've got our one and only Kengamu. You know, he's got Ade right on his tail on home soil, so he needs to make a statement once he goes there. But most importantly, he needs to secure, you know, that position. We want the big man to have a good day, so we want to see him secure that World's Game spot and hopefully knock some Americans off the podium. And then we have 93. We've got Kristen and Maxwell. That'll be an amazing battle. No one can argue against those two representing the country right now. 105s, we've got Dylan Sanchez. After that 411.5 kg attempt, no one can say he doesn't deserve to be on the team. Amazing lift there. And then 120s, we've got our one and only Tony Cliff, and we've got Indiraj. I mean, you're talking about 2 European champions right there. So, hey, everyone, you can say what you want, but to win a European champion, that's massive. And both of them would have an amazing day. And I'm very excited to see how Tony does, especially against Bob, and how Indy does against Etienne, because Etienne is looking insane right now. But I believe 100%, man, you can give these little kids a run and definitely be on that podium. So the more lifters we have making to World Games, the more amazing it will be. And if you make it to World Games, it doesn't matter what anyone says. Should have been on the team, should have not been on the team. Dude, next year you're going to China to represent the country on a bigger platform. That's not going to happen for 4 years. So it's an amazing opportunity. Everyone should smash it. And I think this is potentially one of the best teams we have out there right now.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Indeed, yourself, what do you think?
Said.
Well, Mo just covered it all, man. I just think like instead of generally speaking, instead of like people giving shit to people, you should be out there supporting people. Like support the juniors, support the bench, support the equipped, support the seniors. Like you should be behind the teams instead of fucking trying to knock people down. Because at the end of the day, that's the goal. Is for you get into powerlifting to get that team, to get to that team, and then once people get to that team, and you got people trying to shit on the team. I'm like, come on, take a step back, like support the team. I think generally speaking, the team spirit in their seniors at the moment is through the roof. Like everyone's backing everyone, the support's there, the group chats pop in. I think everyone's looking really, really fucking hungry for this world competition, and I genuinely anticipate just absolute PBs everywhere and a minimum of 3 world records coming back home.
Oof. This is going to be the best world, man. This is actually going to be probably the best worlds in a very long time, man.
And so just to mention there, right, all the women's are in the Flight A for GB team, so that's huge standard, you know, and almost all of them have potential to be top 5 or more, if not. So that's insane.
It's just the talent is ridiculous, you know. Again, Mo, right? As I mentioned this in the beginning, I know I sound like a broken radio, but seeing them yesterday, all these women lifting, the only person that didn't turn up was Taz and Tasmin and Joy because they had got personal issues. But the rest of the team, right? The rest of the team, seeing them yesterday, I was literally stood there for like 2 seconds. I was like, shit, this team is good. Do you know what I mean? These ladies are good. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really good. And again, I think British powerlifting as a federation, we're going places. And I know we still go a long way to go where we wanna be, but we're going in the right direction. So yeah, the team is solid. So hopefully everyone just stay healthy, and we meet in that 8 weeks time, and then yeah, we have fun. That's what it's all about, really. So yeah.
Gonna be sick. Yeah, it's gonna be sick, man.
Cool. My next topic, guys. Of course, I know we spoke about the British team. So now, I just wanted to touch a little bit about just the World Championship itself, because again, we have got other listeners around the world that do listen to us. Not just in Britain. We have the French, we have the Americans, we have the Kiwis, and fun enough, guys, we have got the Bolivians. I don't know, Espin, what uncle or auntie you have in Bolivia, but so yeah. So when I checked the data on Spotify, they were saying like we have
Bro, what's going on? That's Mo's line.
Yeah, Jones is the financial director, He's the one who's looking at the numbers.
The data guy. So yeah, the world team, guys. I think I'm gonna start with you, and probably with Indy here, in terms of like when you saw that preliminary, when it ended, when you see the teams and the people, the names coming to world, what was your first impression?
All of them, just the lifters in general, or just
I'm just talking about everything you've seen, because the thing is, like, there is almost like a common theme around all weight classes.
yeah. Well,
Every
generally
Yeah.
speaking, I was quite excited by it all, because like
Yeah.
obviously you go to your own weight class first, and you're like, this is looking stacked, this is looking fun, and then you start looking through the numbers, and you're like, some people have just thrown a dart at the board with numbers on, and was like, yeah, that'll do for a squat. That'll do for a bench. That'll do for a deadlift. You're always going to get those weird ass numbers coming through. But like, I think generally the standards are insane. Like, just as an example, to podium at 120s last year, if you hit that number, you wouldn't make a flight this year. Like, that is a fucking stupid jump in standards if you think about it. And it's like that across the board. I think it's insane. Absolutely insane. You get the standard people who fucking putting false numbers in. What are you going to do about that? That's always going to be there, isn't it?
Yeah,
But to be
you're
honest,
right.
if I was putting standard numbers in, I'd be going numbers down, not numbers up. Because, yo, give me that 12-man flight with the rest, baby. Yeah, boy.
Nah, that's impossible, man. If you want to be vying for position, you definitely want to be an A flight, though.
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah,
is
you
about
say that, but you didn't have 6 people in your fucking flight for deadlifts dying fucking 3.
I did. I
sat
was in
down.
Malta. I was in that flight. What do you mean?
No, you were in the 105s, in the 120s. I sat down, had a sip of water. Dan was out like 3 more than you. I was like, bro, just kill me.
Yeah.
So Mo, what about yourself? Your impression in terms of when you saw the nominations close across the board?
I think it was good. I expected a lot more countries. I expected the Chinese to have a stronger team. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought the Chinese were gonna come out in full force and bring some insane, weightlifters who sneak them into the competition. But I think overall, every weight class, one positive is every weight class is stacked. From first, literally making the flight A is impressive in the first place. Right, and then also we have a depth in every class. We have a minimum of at least 20 lifters, and then all the way in the 93s, we've got almost 48 lifters nominated. So hey, there's flight A, flight B, flight C, flight D almost. It's pretty insane. So I think it's showing that powerlifting is going in the right route. More countries are sending lifters, more countries are getting involved, more people are getting the opportunity to represent the country internationally. So I think that's really amazing, and I'm looking forward to the growth. I think maybe next year might be bigger. Next year will be Germany. Germany's more accessible in comparison to Lithuania, potentially more of a holiday destination for a few people. So I think it seems like the sky's upwards right now, and I'm very excited to see some of the top 3, top 4, top 5 battles that happen at IPF Awards this year.
Yeah, you're right. Espin, what about yourself?
I'm disappointed, man, because Ecuador, there's no one from my country. And
Why don't you live for Ecuador?
Exactly.
They don't want him.
There's precedence now, so you could go lift for Ecuador.
No, so basically, I mean, uh, is there any Ecuadorians that listen to this podcast? I don't know, but
You've
Live
been
for
banned also,
Bali.
haven't
What do
you?
you live for
They've been
Bali? You
banned.
spend more time in Bali than
this
you
is
have
the
in the
thing.
UK.
I'm not 100% sure if this is right, yeah, but so Ecuador failed. I think they failed 3 or 4 drug. Yeah, they failed the drug test, right? So basically, I was chatting to this guy last year, and he said to me that Ecuador have 1 left. So basically, if they failed 1 more drug test, they're banned. They can't compete, right? Like the whole team's off. And then I don't know if you guys saw, like a couple of months ago, there was an Ecuadorian on that list. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, they're done. So I think that's probably why, which is annoying as well, because they have some really good lifters. Like they have this guy
Oh,
Franklin, and
so
he's
now I get why you've been skipping comp.
He knew there was drug testing.
Okay, okay. So you didn't want to add it to that list.
yeah, I had to hide in Bali for a little bit, man.
To be fair though, you know, Espen is on the Ecuador powerlifting page, which is pretty amazing. They got his marriage down on the page.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
they did.
Mo's
Got him and his
an
missus.
investigator, you know.
You know?
Fuck, you know, he
They,
knows-
they
He's a
probably
data
they
man.
probably wanted his missus on, and he would just happen to be framed for the.
So again, like the World Championship, again, I think you guys touched all the points that I had in my mind in terms of like how every weight class looks. This is not a preview, but go
One
on.
last thing though, Jones, before you say anything, I want to know how many. I'm quite excited to see how many views this is gonna get, like on YouTube, right?
Oh, it's huge.
Because of the
Huge.
American team coming in and how huge their social media is, right?
I don't even think it's that. I think honestly, now that I was thinking about it, right? If you look at IPF World's view and you compare it to even PLA, which was streamed on SBD channel, right? I think that the power on YouTube comes from other countries watching it. Because if you look at the live stream, if you look at the chats, it's not English or it's not Americans on that chat.
No.
It's dude from Poland, dude from Bulgaria, dude
Spain
from
as well.
Spain.
Spain's
Just
huge when it comes to that.
Spain's huge, and they're going back and forth, man. They're battling other countries in those chats. So the strength of the YouTube stream will come from all the other countries. So that's why I'm even excited to see the more countries come in. For example, if one random lifter comes from Bulgaria, I don't know, some random country, or Russia, right? They bring at least a good like 100 people from that country just alone to come to the stream. And then the more lifters you have, the wider that network keeps on growing, rather than just America on its own.
Yeah, I agree. And then the World Championship, again, as I was saying, like it looks huge. And to me, I was looking at just the A3, right? To make that A flight is like 800 kilos minimum. 800 kilos. You know, go back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 800 kilo was the number everyone wanted to hear. We're looking toward to that number. But now, 800 kilo, you're eighth. You know what I mean? That's how tough it is. So it's just like, again, Indy mentioned this, the standard is exciting to see where powerlifting is going. So we're all excited. And us, people like us, are privileged to be part of these, to be on those platforms, you know what I mean? To be part of these matches. So it's a privilege. It's not something like, you know, we're entitled. No, it is something like we have to be grateful, and I am, to be on those platforms. My next question, guys, will be, again, as I said, this is not a preview, but it's just almost like we're just trying to throw some spice there for people to see what's coming. In terms of all the weight classes you guys have seen, right? What is the toughest weight class you guys think out of all of it, especially on the men's side? I'll start with Mo.
93s. It's got to be 93s. Yeah,
Oh,
it's got to be
with
93s.
Alright, cool. That's 3. Alright, cool.
No, yeah, to be them, man.
Why?
Dude, you've got Petrie, Gaston. You've got Petrie, Gustav, Carlos, Emil, Maxwell, Christian.
I was going to say, since when has Gaston been a
860.
93?
Sorry, Gustav. Gustav. That's 860 straight away, minimum. Like that top 8. Like Maxwell's got potential for 860, Christy's got potential for 860 and maybe even more. And we've got Kwaku from Canada who's already at 830, and I believe he missed his last pull, so he could have been at 850 or 845 from CPU Nationals. That is, dude, 2 years ago, 865 was what was winning worlds, and we're going, oh shit, that's amazing. Top 8 is so close, it's insane. 83s is good, but in terms of like the depth of competition is between the 93s and the 66s. It's got between those two.
I agree.
Every class is so good, man. My God, even the 66s, bro, I'm excited, man. I'm so excited to watch
The
this.
66 looks tough. It looks
Bro,
really tough. It looks tough. At the same time, it looks scary.
Kilter
You know what I
didn't
mean?
make
Because
a flight. You know how
I
insane that
know,
is.
I know. And then you miss one about Kyoto. They can fix it, or they can just use his Sheffield tour.
I don't know. It depends on what they've submitted. It seems Japan's very focused on like what they want to do. But I think
Yeah,
that works better for Kyoto because I'm not gonna lie. I think 66, you want to set a target for people to chase. You probably don't want to be in that battle just because of how close it is, and we've seen that battle play out so many times between Kyoto
yeah.
and Pano and Joseph Jordan. I think almost if you can, in this situation, being in the B flat might actually be a benefit because you get to just go all out, set a total, and then see who surpasses it.
To me, is the 93s and the 74s. You know,
Do you
the
think?
reason I'm the reason I'm saying the 74s is yes, Perks on paper is clear favorite. It's clear, right? And I think Team Carly, they have the strength to go toe to toe with Shell. Shell is ahead. Don't get me wrong, he's ahead. But they had the strength to go toe to toe. But the thing is with Shell, the only thing he had the advantage is Shell barely miss. Even that last deadlift last year, he didn't miss it. I don't care what people say. You know what I mean? So he barely missed. That's the problem. So if anything happened, and I think they have that in them. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough weight class. But again, as you said, like no more every single weight class is just it's just fucking every. So then what? You turn your TV on that A flight, you just go like, oh my god, what's this? You know, and I really believe most of these A flights would not be won by a second deadlift. You have to wait until that last deadlift for you to get a winner. Do you know what I mean? Because again, as I said, on purpose, people have got numbers or people think like you're an idiot. How can you cover 100 kilos? How can you cover 70 kilos? Mate, world stage?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think 105s will be done by second deads.
Only if Ashton come in healthy.
It depends on
Bro,
if Ashton does his normal picks.
Ashton's, bro, listen to me. Ashton like does 800 pounds for a double, and he's like, yeah, I ran 5,000 miles yesterday. I'm ill, not feeling good. This moved like shit. Here's 800 pounds for a double, and I'd classify it as an RPE 6. That's just, do you know what I mean though? Like, this is just me. This is what I think. I genuinely think Ashton and Bob. I think just gonna run away with it.
Jesus is probably going to just turn up and lift openers and maybe run away with it
so
also, but that depends on what team. Team looks amazing right now.
No, I mean, with Jesus, what I'm saying is, if Jesus, if we get a Jesus of 2022 in this year, Timo can be
impossible. I think the amount of vengeance that's within that man right now, I don't even think it's physically possible for him to underperform.
I'm with you. I'm with you. However, we saw with the heavier classes last year, and we're going to keep coming back to this. Yeah. The speed and the shorter flights kills the heavier classes.
I don't think Jesus is speed running right now. I think he's ready.
But Timo will be affected equally.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah,
but Timo is Georgian, man. Them boys don't care about anything.
Have you seen where Timo lifts and how he lifts? No music. It's worse than you.
Timo is Georgian, man.
I know. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. But again, as I said, it's gonna be an exciting world championship. You know, probably it's gonna be the best that we've ever seen. You know, across all weight class, even in the women's side. Do you know what I mean? The women's side is going to be one of them ones to be like, oh my God, is this happening? Because if I sit here, guys, I ask you who's going to win the 69, none of you can tell me who's going to win the 69. Do you know what I mean?
It's between two people.
I thought
we were doing just the men's at the moment.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out there, like, in terms of, like, how exciting this is going to be. So, but yeah.
I'm with Mo, though. 93s, man. I think 93s is the savage one for me personally. I think it's gonna stay like that for a little while. I'll be honest with you.
100%.
Because it's just because of the depth, you know, the amount of people that are 93 kg in male. That's like the full one, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Even if you look at the amount of people nominated compared to all the rest, there's at least 10 more in the 93s than anywhere else. It's just fucking rammed.
And
dude, if you want to talk about battles on a general, the 63 kg women is just going to be a bloodbath. I think like with Carol O'Gara gone, you know, it's going to be Megan Scallion versus Brianna Chiara, and then we got our Joy, and we've got Alba from Sweden. I think that's going to be like an insane battle, honestly,
Yeah.
and I think Joy might have it.
I'm
I
back.
mean,
Yo, but I never not back Auntie Joy.
Impossible.
I mean, how can you know? How can you know someone that has a weapon like that? You know what I mean? So it's really
I don't see
hard not
Evie
to.
losing personally. Like
Oh yeah,
52s.
yeah.
47s is still going to be a battle, I think, between Tiffany and
I was
Jessica.
gonna say, it looks closer. It looks a lot closer on paper now.
Yeah. 57 is going to be a battle like fucking hell.
Oh
Jad
yeah,
and
yeah.
Natalie are just
Natalie's not
throwing
gonna let it
uppercuts
go.
at each other.
Natalie's not let it go. You know,
No.
and then the 84 plus. Lord
But I want
Christ.
to. I want to watch the 69s. I would pay good money right now to just like fast forward time, watch the 69s, and come back again. Bro, have you seen the numbers though? It's fucking savage.
Crazy, man. They're all
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah, they're crazy. Even the 76, right? Because Agatha now is going back to the 76. Do you know what I mean? And Jess is looking really good.
Mm.
Agatha looks insane. She benched 160.
I know.
Fucking hell,
I
man.
don't even understand what's going on. I was looking at her training, and I'm like, I don't know what. Like, the sky's the limit. You might as well just.
Yeah.
What's going on
Yeah.
right now?
It's gonna be amazing. And the 84 plus, Jesus Christ. You know,
Oh.
because we got two women that have hit the 700 plus. You know, and they come in. I mean, it's mad.
Got a
Is it
Jamaican
two?
coming. No. I was
Oh.
just saying. I noticed we have a Jamaican coming into the 76s also, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Sammy.
really? That's
Yeah,
really
there's
cool.
Sammy.
a lady from Jamaica.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I think I'm gonna get her on the podcast then. I'll bring her in.
542 she hit. Yeah, she
Yeah.
posted about it being the only Caribbean girl in Flight A throughout the whole thing. So
Oh, I'm bringing her in.
And you know,
I'm bringing her in.
if for some reason she does well, Jamaica is one of those countries that support the athletes
Oh,
because
yeah.
they have pride in sports, you know. So very quickly we might see one of the fastest squats, one of the fastest bench, one of the fastest deadlifts.
You know, I'm gonna bring her in.
absolute
You know,
savage, Mo.
Exactly. Fastest bench, like there's no pause, right? Oh
That'll be
shit!
sick,
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna be exciting, right? And
Who do you
it's-
see winning best lifter? Go on.
Oh no,
Male,
no,
female.
I can't tell you. I can't.
What do you
I
mean,
can't.
man? You have
Mel?
to say.
No.
Bob for Mel, because he's the only one who's insane enough to say he doesn't care about the rec. Because realistically
true.
speaking, we're looking at worlds where all the top guys want to win with the least amount possible.
Yeah. And Bob wants to
So-
just do his thing and then go to fucking 105s at Sheffield. So.
Yeah. So I think if
but
Bob,
you guys are saying Bob. If Bob totaled 1,000 kilos, right? And Perkins totaled, let's say, 8.
he's not.
No, but
He-
Perkins,
it's not
Perkins
total.
said
His
he
gel
wants
would
to
need-
win. That's it.
Yeah.
Whereas Bob said he just wants to hit 1,000 and fuck off. Do you see
Yeah.
there's a difference?
Oh, because he's gonna go 105 in Sheffield,
Yeah.
isn't it?
He's gonna go 105 at Sheffield.
Unless he's playing mind games, man, he just ends up doing it.
Yeah, I
True,
think-
unless he's playing mind game. Because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
see
yeah.
why he'll do that. Because I think he could. Well, he could. He'll fuck up
There
Rondell's
was no,
mind, 'cause
there's
Rondell's
no,
coming back
mind
next year.
games is fine, but there's no reason going balls out of world, smashing the total miles away, and then making it harder for yourself.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
true.
Because remember, it's still percentages. You're still gonna 6% of fucking 1,000 kgs, a lot to gain in short
That's a
term.
lot, man.
Like, come on.
That's what. Fuck. Even Rondell find it hard.
Now, don't say
Yeah.
that. He's gonna put your fucking face on a dartboard now, and that's
Please
it.
do.
All his motivation for the next fucking 5 weeks.
you know, please do. So yeah, it'll be. But in terms of your question, I think on the men's side, I think Bob is the candidate, especially if he's going balls out for 1,000 kilos. If he totaled 1,000 kilos, come on, who's gonna beat that? Do you know what I mean? Who's gonna beat that?
So
I think
probably Tony.
Bob-
Tony
Yeah,
too.
Tony, I'm backing Tony for 1,000.5. So yeah.
1,000.5. I'll back
Yeah.
Tony for 980. I'll still say I think Tony has 980 in him.
Yeah,
He can squeeze out his old knees.
Yeah. So yeah, I think to me it's Bob. On the women's side, the best. I think the best lifter on the women's side will come from the 69.
69. Yeah.
69. 69. Because these two, I mean, Carola and Leah, I would not be surprised if they hit 600.
They will.
You know what? The way he's set up,
Yeah,
they'll
because
push
600
each
is
other. They'll value winning
600 is
more
the
than-
world record. If one of them hit 600, they haven't actually jeopardized Sheffield at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if any of them hit 600, who's gonna beat that? you know. So Agatha and Carolina, they will need like 640, to beat that. So yeah, to me, I'm thinking like, yeah, it's gonna come from the 69 indeed. That's me.
Yeah.
And Espin, there's no an Ecuadorian then in the ladies. Anyone else you thinking is gonna win best lift?
But Natalie won last year, and her and Jad are going to be going toe to toe.
Oh, that world record at 57 will be broken.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the only world,
And then you've got to look at, in terms of GL points, they're going to be up there. So I wouldn't even put it past one of them two winning best lifter.
But
Because you're thinking with your Sheffield head. It's not about.
I'm not thinking about Sheffield head and Indy. I'm thinking even if Natalie and Jad break their world record, if one of those 69 is just total 590 plus, it's hard for 57 to beat that. It's very hard.
I don't know.
The 57 would need like.
Jad is close though. Jad is currently above
Very
Carola.
Close.
Jad is currently above Carola in terms of GL points right now.
Yeah.
122. Who's Celtic?
I'm telling you, you'll say, because I looked, according to the data, right, it's very fucking close.
Dude, you know what? 100. Dude, the top. Do you want to see how insane this is, right? The top 10 on women. Am I looking? This is GL points. Good lord. The top 10 on women, the lowest is 120 GL points.
No way, you're lying.
Top 10 is like Sonita is this is showing me some nonsense.
Sonita's 120.
Sonita's 120.
Oh, that's from Sheffield, isn't it?
Yeah. What's going on? Dude, like Bobby's 119.5. And she's at 13, and Joy's 117. Dude, everyone, that's insane, man. The women's GL points are just ridiculous right now.
Makes me sick.
There's only one South American as well. South America's poor right now, man. Only 1 Chilean. 1 Chilean.
You're looking for your root.
I'm not even going to talk about Brazil because they speak Portuguese, so I'm not even going to include them. They're not involved. 1 Chilean. That is bad. Literally. South America.
So you stayed quiet for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You were looking for South America that list.
No, he's on booking.com again.
Oh shit. Boys, this is gonna be exciting, right? I think we covered all the topics I had, unless someone goes something.
I've got one more. I was just looking through the AGM. I was looking through the AGM that was submitted, and I remember when I joined and you boys were talking about, is there anything that we could take from the Americans going forward that would be really cool? One thing I did notice was, when you win nationals, you get from American nationals, you get like your ticket to Worlds. You're representing 83 kg.
Yeah.
When I was actually looking at it, I saw the motion from David Gray, and he was basically saying that, athletes go to Worlds and represent the country internationally, but they don't really get anything to say they've represented internationally unless you win a medal, right? So if we could do something like a badge almost, so once you win nationals, you get a little badge or a little trinket that goes onto like a coat or a track bottom that you have that says I represented 83 kg for this year and something like that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can backdate it as well, so then I can be guaranteed with at least one.
Nah, you don't deserve it, bro.
2021, yeah. Anyway, I think the next topic, guys, I'm gonna leave it, guys, to you when next time we see each other again on the podcast, is to think about this. We need to think about, next year, this year the British is in November, and the World Championship is in June. That's a big, long time for you to select a team in November for World, and wait for what, a good 7 months. A lot can happen in 7 months.
You still
So
got the Euros. You'll still have British lifters going to the Euros.
yeah, but you get people, what do you call it, turning the Euros down because they're prepping for World. So
Yeah.
what would the head coach mindset be if someone can get injured during prepping that 7 months? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but Euros, honestly, Euros is a useless contract now. I've got to say, like,
yeah.
Euros is a useless contract now because even a lot of the lifters who go to Sheffield will not go to Euros. They'll straight away go into prep for
They've
Worlds.
ruined it themselves. They should leave it like in
Yeah.
November or something. But yeah,
But
they
then
did
it
in
clashes with
November.
everyone's nationals, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, that's probably a topic to take on next time when we see each other again. Guys, if we don't have anything else,
Before we go, obviously, because we haven't done a podcast in quite some time. We've been quite busy, but just to let everyone know, we are going to be more consistent with it. We are going to be doing it on a weekly basis as well. Just that the boys have been very, very busy. I've been busy on booking.com. The boys have been busy, like, prepping and stuff like that. But now we are back. We are going to be very, very, very consistent moving forward. One thing that I did want to mention, though, because obviously we haven't done a podcast to actually speak about it. We've just pretty much been doing it on social media, is to Kunz. So just a big shout out to Kunz as well. Like, fucking insane deadlift that he put up a couple weeks back. Insane. Like that's the
Junior Nationals was also amazing. Like I know Duran's talked about it a little bit with Nonso and the other two lads. But Junior Nationals, the standard there was amazing. Honestly, amazing lifting from the juniors.
yeah.
So sick. But yeah, like we've been waiting for this Kunz to like show up, right? Because we knew he's always had this fucking insane deadlift. So it was just so sick to finally see it like come
Imperialize, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that, man.
again, these are the talent GB has. There's so much with us. Then people think if you don't see a Geraint, you see a Kunz, you see another. You don't see an Indian Tony, you see a Mo, you see a KG, and you see a Nonso. So yeah, but if you don't see an Espin, you might as well just you're only gonna see air. You're not gonna see nothing.
I'm still training, man. I'm still there. I'm just doing my own thing. But one last thing before, and I'll shut up, I promise, is to everyone that's listening, right? We need you guys, because obviously we were speaking previously in the pod about, and this isn't just for juniors, this is for everyone that competes, right? Everyone that trains, everyone that lives. In order for you guys to be seen or to be heard, you need to post. What we want you to do, what we're trying to encourage you guys to do, is to make sure you tag us as well in your videos, because we want to be reposting as many of you
other than squat battles, deadlift battles, and warm up with me, because I'll just delete them. I'll log in and delete them.
These are the rules. If the video starts with warm up with me, don't tag us. If the video starts with...
We'll take everything. Let's evolve.
No, you won't. No, we won't. No, we won't. No.
Let's be inclusive.
Let's not be these kids again.
I am. I'm being inclusive.
All right, let's be inclusive here. Just tag us, guys. Tag us, and
then we can look at it and ignore it.
All right. On that note, guys, please, again, as Espin already said, everything, guys, don't forget to tag us. If you have any comment, reach out to any of us. If you want to come to the podcast, you don't need to come through me. You can come through Indy, Mo, Espin, or through Sabado, and we're gonna invite you. We don't just bring elite people on this podcast. We'll bring anyone, even if you're a novice. You think you have got a knowledge to share across, come to us.
Yeah, we get a lot of why haven't you invited us? But like, I'm not being funny. Message us.
Yeah, message us, and then you're gonna come and join the party. On that note, guys, speak to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.